So you work with a lot of staffing and recruiting firms, I know, at Butler Street. What is the staffing industry getting wrong as it relates to sales in 2025?
That's a great question. And so you have to just think about the landscape of staffing in 2025. So we're coming off of a bad year for the industry. I think the industry is projected to be 20, I think maybe 10 or 15% down. So coming into 2025, what some people are getting wrong is, hey, the market's back up in 2025. So we're just going to do the same thing that we did, and we're going to let the market dictate our success. So we see a lot of people not playing offense. They're like, okay, well, I want to see how the year starts. Like, let's wait until Q2. Let's do something in the second half of the year. So the biggest mistake we see is people actually not taking action and changing, whether it be their strategy, their effort, their service offering, just because they think the market's going to be the thing that swings them up this year.
Yeah, I'm a huge proponent of the quote. It goes something like, what got you here won't necessarily get you there. And I feel like our industry as a whole, whether it's for the last decade or 20 years or even startups, they know what got them to a certain point. And then they sort
Right.
of just stop. They say, okay, well, this got us 5 or 6 orders in the past. Let's continue doing this because we need 5 or 6 more. But we don't realize that we're playing at a completely different game. 2025 isn't 2024. It's certainly not what it was like pre-COVID. So we
Right.
need to play from a different game. We need to play a different system because sales is completely different when we think about where we're at right now.
Right. And you can point to COVID being that big shift because everyone started working remote. People like our customers got rid of their office phones. So even trying to set a meeting with someone, it's a different game. How we use our cell phones, how we communicate with technology, all of that is really different, and that requires a different skill set. And I love the like what didn't get me here is what got me here isn't going to get me there because it's so true. It's like the tricks of 2018 and 2019 will not work in 2025. And that goes with the scale of companies as well. So there's a reason why only 250 staffing firms are above $100 million in revenue because people stall out between 25 and 75 because what got you to 25 won't get you to 100.
Say that number again.
Yeah, so only 249 staffing firms are above $100 million in revenue.
Really?
And there's 27,000 staffing firms in the US. So what do those companies do to get over 100 million when other companies stall between that 25 and 75 million mark?
It's super interesting. I didn't know that number, and I appreciate you
Yeah,
sharing that
sure.
number.
Yeah.
So what are those companies at the top doing differently than the companies near the bottom, those small to mid-sized staffing firms? What are the Goliaths in the room doing that sets them apart, that gets them to 100 million?
Yeah. A lot of it comes down to, okay, what's our actual growth strategy? So some customers, they're focused on, all right, we need account expansion. We have some really big accounts. We need a really good account management strategy to gain market share. Other companies are like, okay, listen, hey, we don't have those big accounts with the total addressable market to sustain us at $100 million in revenue. So we need to go acquire those new logos. So depending on where you are in your business growth cycle, that should dictate what your strategy is to get to over 100 million.